Welcome back to the channel. Message is very simple today, and it's that narcissism can cost you everything. What I mean by this is I I just recently um, discovered that a person I've known since high school, not a great friend of mine, but someone I've known since then and would dialogue with occasionally, um, ended his life tragically. And this is an epidemic in our world. In case you didn't know, men between about 20 and mid 40s. It happens way, once is too much. It happens far, far too often. Very, very prevalent phenomenon today. But this person wasn't the first that has experienced this, that I have just personally seen in their lives, at least in large part because narcissistic abuse. This person was dealing with a very, very toxic woman. And matter of fact, I had an uncle many years ago who was dealing with an extremely toxic woman and ended his life in pretty bad fashion. Anybody who's still dealing with these people, you have to understand the seriousness. I know that there are lots of videos I've done, and there are lots of things to discuss about narcissism that are not this high level, dangerous threat sort of thing. But I want to tell you today that dealing with a narcissist in any capacity ranges from damaging to extraordinarily harmful. These aren't people you want to deal with. These are not people you want in your life, and you cannot keep them in your life. I know there are many of you who still think about the narcissist and maybe even miss them and pine for that relationship and somehow want them back. And see my last video if you're in that boat. But I just want to tell you, not only run, but run for your life. The idea of wanting these people back, man, oh man, do they ever do damage? So what they often do is they just make their victims become a nervous wreck. They will make you question every single thing about yourself. They will drive you to depression. They drive you to forget who you even are. You don't operate in reality after a long enough period of time with these people. And yes, as always, it ranges. They're not all identical. They're not all on the same exact level. But they're all extremely dangerous in their own right. So consider for a minute the day in, day out damage that these people can do. When you get to a place where you are questioning your every move, where you wonder if anything you do is good enough, where you start to doubt yourself, you doubt your own intuition, you doubt your gut, every waking second is spent thinking about them, ruminating on them. And I was with an extremely narcissistic person, but there are much worse. There are worse. And even that person I dealt with who was pretty far down the line. And I was in a great place in a lot of ways when I met the person. And I personally have never been a weak individual, a pushover, never. And even still, the damage that was done to me was incalculable. It took me a solid year just to get kind of back to a decent place in my life. Think about that. They are the ultimate time suck. Maybe the very most gentle thing you could say about them is that they waste so much of your time. And that's not a gentle thing if you think about it. Every day with a narcissist is a day lost. It is a day you could have been spending focusing on things that matter. It's a day you could have spent maybe with your children. It's a day you could have spent with a good friend. You could have spent communing with the Lord. You could have spent focusing on your career. You could have spent in so many, or just enjoying the beauties and splendors of the day with a hike, with a walk, fishing, whatever. Every day you spent with that person, even if you were not physically with them, is a day wasted. That adds up pretty fast. Let's just say for me, and I left much earlier than most people do because it was very vile, but I reached my breaking point. I wasted a year of my life basically with the person, and then I wasted a solid year after that trying to get over that person. Where I'm not saying every day was a waste after that, but so much of that time was spent healing, being on my own, trying to figure out what happened, unpack everything, peel back the layers, watch tons of narcissism videos. I mean, it occupies so much of your life. You are not you for a long time, and that's if you do it the right way. And I would argue that I was going about the healing process about the best way you can. I spent so much time with the Lord, so much time in prayer, unpacking it, thinking, introspecting, assessing what I can change. I mean, I did that all the time. Much less think about the people who they don't go about it the right way. Maybe they don't even figure out who they were dealing with. But there's so many ways you can go about it that are wrong. So even the situation I was in, it cost me a good 2 years of time to do all the things I should have been doing. Not to mention the trauma involved at the time. The rumination, like I said, the self-doubting, the hopeless feeling, the trauma bond, all that agonizing stuff you deal with, the separation you have between yourself and God, at least at some level, they steal so much of your time. That is dangerous. There are people, and I'm so sorry some of you watch this channel who lost years and years, maybe even lost decades of your life. There are people watching this that are still in it. I cannot urge you strongly enough to stop, to get out of it. Cut it off now. Because the truth is, even if you cut it off now, you're going to have a pretty good amount of time to get over that person and to put everything back together. Don't cost yourself any more time. So the tremendous damage and why they're so dangerous, they will just zap years of your life like this. Just gone. And that's time, like I said, you could have been spending as a parent with your children, focusing on things that matter. So many things could have been done in the time wasted with the narcissist, and that's one of their primary functions. And wasted time is extremely dangerous. It's a dangerous consequence. But guys, there are a lot of people who don't heal from this at all. There are people who stay stuck for years. They just can't get over what happened to them. They can't sort it out. They still wonder, where did they go? What are they doing? What's wrong with me? What? And those are all the things the narcissist came to do. Those are the things the devil does to keep you trapped and stuck, because that's what he wants. If he can just keep you paralyzed, unfocused, not about your purpose, then he's got you. That's all. He doesn't have to turn you completely against God. He doesn't have to turn you toward himself. He just has to render you paralyzed in a sense. That's what the narcissist does. Man, that's dangerous. Do you understand the results of being with these people? But yeah, it can get extremely dark. Like I said, I know now multiple people who have ended their lives in large part because they couldn't get over the person. Their heads were so full of bad ideas, false ideas, worries about the narcissist, wondering why they don't love me. Where are they going? Is this person better than me? What's happening? Why is she doing this? Why is he doing this? And it drives them literally to a point of no return. There are a lot of people, and I'm sure some of you know others, they literally take their own lives because of the abuse. And just being in the situation I'm in, I was never near that, but I can understand how people get to that place. What they do to you is straight demonic. What they do to you, the stuff they do, is nothing other than spiritual in nature. It's so dark. And of course, this isn't even the worst thing. Because do you know what all this stuff can do to somebody in addition? It can cost them their very soul. It can cost them literally everything that matters. You can get so bogged down and dysfunctional and so paralyzed by these individuals that you either stay with them or you never get over them or they just permanently change who you are because of what you dealt with, that you can literally lose sight of the Lord. You can lose your salvation. And this isn't time for a sermon. I could do a whole video. Might be a good idea for some of you who it probably matters to. Can you lose your salvation? Without any shadow of a question of a doubt. It's very explicitly clear in Scripture that you can. And logically, narcissistic abuse can cause that. These people can take you so far away from who you are and who you're supposed to be, and the Lord himself, so far away from the Lord, you lose connection with the vine. You are no longer in him because you're sold out to them. They become a form of idol. They replace everything that matters in your life. Uh, if you don't think they're dangerous, and it almost sounds cutesy, I get it sometimes. We talk about the little gimmicks they do, the triangulation, and the million things that some of which are laughable. They're laughably bad. But the overall damage that these people can inflict, as many of you found out, is tremendous. They can bankrupt you. They can make you lose a job. They can make you lose your health. I know some very good friends of the channel who lost their health and never got it back. Terrible, dreadful things that have happened to them. They cause strokes. They cause heart attacks, high blood pressure, permanent ailments, brain damage, literal brain damage from what they do. They cause you to lose relationships with your kids, your other family, friends. They cause you to miss out on a relationship you maybe should have had or could have been in because you were toying around with them. They will take your life spiritually apart. They will dissect you like the game of Operation. They will remove every spiritual fiber from your being if you continue to be with them and continue to be with them and continue to be with them. They can make you lose literally everything in your world and then everything in the world that is to come. So I feel like I need to say this because sort of in the memory of the friend I lost, but also of others that I've lost and who you've lost and had just had a narcissist take everything from them. They weren't survivors. And there are many people who got past the narcissistic relationship. They physically got out of it, but they never moved on. They don't trust anybody anymore. They can't trust anybody. It's cost them so much. So I just want you to know the bottom line is narcissists can be extraordinarily dangerous. They are extremely dangerous. These are not people you can mess around with. They're not people you can let in your life. You can keep in your life. You should pine to have back. You can never answer a Hoover. Never, ever answer a Hoover. Because they're not back for anything good. Never. So if you're still in a relationship situation with one of these people, cut it off. Cut your losses. Cut it off now. Don't waste another second. It's time to do it. Just do it. Pull off that Band-Aid. It's time to move on. Don't lose another second. And if you're still emotionally paralyzed after that, you got to come to a better place. They'll ruin the rest of your life over a demonic creature who never really existed and was never what you thought they were and is not doing any better now. It's doing probably worse. You'll lose everything. No, none of these people are worth losing anything over, much less your life, much less your salvation. So, guys, I hope this resonates with you. Understand the dire nature. This is why Paul's advice in 2 Thessalonians 3:5 was to stay away from these people. Avoid such a person because you will live to regret it or not live to regret it. So, guys, I hope this is helpful for somebody. Drop comments below. I'll come at you with another one soon. Till then, God bless.